Today we'll talk about bath time toys for your toddler, or basically when they can sit up in the bath all the way until they're 2 or 3, things that they can play with in the bath. And you don't want to always provide everything at all times. You provide a few toys and then you rotate them out for other toys, so that they always kind of become new again and fun. So you have a variety of things. For example, here in the front, for an older child, it's playtime. You have a styrofoam doll that the water can make it adhere to the bathtub, just kind of cling, not stick, but cling to the bathtub or wall of the shower or bath. And then with just water, it will stick a little bit to the doll. And you can exchange clothes out and play in the bathtub. So that's a little bit older of a child, but one that can sit up in the bath and beyond. You have here some realistic fish, sharks of different kinds. This one here, you suck up the water and it can has an opening in the mouth to spit the water out. So that's kind of fun. But they're realistic looking fish. Here's more like a puffer fish. A puffer fish may not be bright yellow, but again, it's not too far off. This is not a realistic looking fish, but it does spit the water out. It could be fun, but if you can get some of the realistic options, that's nice. Rubber duckies. Here's one that's a little more realistic, kind of creepy looking, looks a little funny, but a little more realistic. Then you have ones that they're trying to give people characteristics to. This happens a lot with kids' toys, and I advise to kind of stay away from that, because you want to start with your young child with concrete. That means realistic toys and activities. Start with realism, because they cannot differentiate between fantasy and fake and reality until they're older. So I would stick as close as possible with something like this that is a realistic kind of representation of a duck, versus something like this, a duck that plays a guitar. This doesn't happen. A duck that wears a rain jacket. It just doesn't happen. So again, go with realistic options here, and stay away from the pretend options. I have never seen a red duck, or a pink duck. So I would just stay away from those options. And then boats. This boat, although it has 2 eyes and a mouth, it can be a boat. It's a little dirty. I might put this in my water table outside because it's dirty, not necessarily bath time. But this is more of a realistic looking boat. An engine area, seats, steering wheel. It has the parts of a boat. This is a boat that they might be able to put something in and watch it either sink or float, which in the bath time, you want things that sink and things that float. They're learning some realistic concepts in life. Although you don't see a purple boat, it has all the parts, the engine, seat, steering wheel, that kind of thing. And they can put things in it to see if it sinks or floats. This is somewhat of a realistic looking option as well. And then I would always suggest just your basic cup for them to pour and play and put things in. Some balls that sink or float that make sound, they can put inside the cup. that have visual stimulation that are sealed and water will not get inside and ruin them. And they can play with the cup and watch if they sink or swim. This one doesn't have anything that shakes. So lots of different options as far as balls that sink or float. Always a cup. And then you have these stacking cups. They stack on top of each other. I'm missing one, so these stack on top of each other, have little animals that you can discuss, and they have these little holes that as they try to scoop water, they can see the water escape and create kind of a funnel activity, a sprinkler activity. But again, they nestle inside of each other, saves on space. And you have different animals, realistic animals, and the colors that you can teach while you're playing in the bath. I highly recommend something like that that has kind of the primary and secondary colors. So that one has kind of waves. This one's more of a solid. It has some shapes. It has a number. So things that you can discuss in the bath. This one's kind of nice because it has the little hooks. I'm not sure if you'll have an area on your bathtub, but they may be able to connect with something and then funnel one to the other. This one has more holes. That one has less holes. And then this is another cup. I think it goes with that set. But you can find different kinds of toys that go in the shower and bath and function for playtime. How you keep track of them is you can find things like this that they can easily dry. You don't want mold on your toys. So it comes with suction cups that connects these, and they hang and drip dry in the shower. And they are not on the floor in the bathtub with the dirty water exiting the bath. So you want to hang them out of the bath water that's draining, and whether this hooks up on your caddy or not, but just make sure that the toys do not remain in the bottom of the bathtub with the dirty water exiting. So you can keep them in here and out of the water. You can also use kind of a tub like this. It has holes here in the bottom for draining the water. So these are a good option. It's a little, can be like a toy caddy. You can put them in the sink to dry and then put them under the sink, out of sight, out of mind. And here's another option, a plastic basket that has the ability to drain, scoop the toys up and then let them drain, sitting outside of the dirty bath water. I hope that helps for fun times in the bath with your child. Again, always have a basic cup for scooping, playing, gathering, pouring, boats, fish, ducks, things that belong in the water. And then fun time filtering cups that nestle, that have colors, that you can have discussions, some balls that sink and float, and then some caddies or a plastic basket or netting where you can hold your toys and you're not tripping over them when you go to use the bath. Thank you for listening.